as butterflies flutter throughout my body, and the taste of vomit lingers in my throat. I slowly begin to put my harness on, my left leg first, then my right leg, followed by each of my arms tunneling through the harness. And finally, there is the sound of the click across my chest. The worker gives me the green light to go up the stairs. I begin to make my way, but I can't help to question, is this harness actually secure enough? He reassures me with a thumbs up, and the people behind me give me a gentle nudge of encouragement so I can continue my movement. So as I'm climbing the steps, I notice one of the bars is loose on the rail. I yell out to the worker to get his attention, bring the issue to his attention, and he gives me a nod of acknowledgement, but again, gestures for me to continue on up. So I'm now at the top of the platform, staring out as the kid in front of me just dashes into midair. I'm up next. I'm so scared. I'm rethinking my decision. The teenage boy is securing the clamp onto the rope, and I start babbling to him. I don't think I can do this. I'm so afraid of heights. Why am I here? What am I trying to prove? I look out and I see my family cheering me on and watching to see, can she actually do this? I get ready to turn away, and just as I do, he pushes me off the ledge. Fear is my spear. You see, we all need a push sometimes to get us going. In order to lead and succeed, we need to embrace fear. There's always going to be fear present throughout your life. And my fear of heights was just one of my many fears. I remember finding I was pregnant shortly after turning 16. I was so scared. I was so scared because I knew my mom was going to be so angry and disappointed. And I didn't want to let her down. I tried convincing myself, maybe I'm not really pregnant. Maybe it'll just go away. Hoping that everything would go back to normal. Praying that everything would go back to normal. But that didn't happen, and I was still pregnant. So at that moment, I knew what I had to do. I had to do whatever it took in order to make this work for my daughter and I. Even if it meant walking away from everything that I knew. So without my mom having a clue, I sought out as much support and resources as possible. I managed to connect with a nonprofit organization that worked with pregnant and teen parents. I got in touch with my high school and gained support through their ELECT program for students in my situation. I received medical services from the free clinic. I joined a teen support group. And I received emotional support from my older sister and closest friends. It wasn't until 7 months into my pregnancy that my mom found out I was pregnant. Imagine the shock. We were at the nail salon, getting our nails done, having a great day. And all of a sudden, the nail tech turns to me and says, "How far along are you?" It was over from there. That's it. Just as I imagined, my mom was furious. She was embarrassed. She was disappointed. And she was hurt. My sister had to actually act as a physical shield between my mother and I. I thought, this is it. This is what I prepared for. She's going to kick me out. Fear is my sphere. However, when everything calmed down and the initial shock wore off, my parents and my siblings became my biggest supporters. My mom was actually proud of me for how much I managed to accomplish on my own up until that point. With the help and support of my family, friends, school, and so many other caring individuals, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and I graduated from high school on time. Fear is my spear. By the time I was 20, I had 3 kids. I put college on hold, was working multiple customer service jobs, and I was going through postpartum depression. As you can imagine, this isn't exactly where I saw myself being at this stage of my life. It's estimated in the United States that only 50% of teen parents go on to earn their high school diploma. Less for women of color, and only 2% go on to earn their college degree by the age of 30. And the stats are even lower for repeated teenage parents, which is what I was. Given these stats, I was doomed for failure. But I knew that there was more to me, that I didn't want to be just another statistic. I had a vision. I had a vision of who I could be, who I was meant to be. There's more to me. There's more for my girls. And I was not going to allow any opportunity to pass me by or to limit my growth. So at that moment, I made the decision to relocate my girls and I to the Sunshine State. Fear is my spear. At 26, married, pregnant with my 4th child, and back in college, I was presented now with a new fear. The fear of losing a child. This is probably every parent's worst nightmare. In the blink of an eye, my youngest daughter, who was only 5 years old at the time, had to have emergency surgery to remove one of her damaged kidneys. I remember being so afraid and refused to leave her side. I opted to be with her in the hospital every night for months. I struggled to be away from my other children, to care for the child inside of me, to be a wife to my husband, while still trying to be a college student. I thought to myself, how can I worry about all of this other stuff when my hopes, my fears, my wishes, everything laid with her? Recovery was so tough for my daughter. But just like her mom, she was strong and she was determined. So by June of 2012, with the help of so many people, my daughter was back home. My son was born. My other children were thriving. And I graduated with my associate's degree. Fear is my spear. You see, despite the odds I managed to be a part of the 2% who went on to earn their college degree by the age of 30. I actually earned my bachelor's degree from UCF, go Knights, at the age of 28, and gave birth to my 5th child shortly after. By the way, walking the stage for your graduation where you're due to give birth any day, not highly recommended. Disruption, hesitation, uncertainty, and risk are all feelings of fear that we must learn to navigate and get a control of. Allow it to be a part of you. Embrace it. Just like my fear of heights, just like my fear of being a teen parent, and my fear of losing a child, my child being sick, there was going to constantly be fears that I had to navigate through on a regular basis, even now. Fear is a part of all of us. And I decided to look at fear not as chains holding me back, but rather as an open door to endless possibilities. Fast forward to now, and I'm still tackling on many different levels of fears. Fears with work, fears with school, fear of public speaking, and fear of just getting older. You see, with each fear, I'm constantly learning from that barrier, and I'm continuously growing. I never thought of myself as a leader, but others have. Most importantly, my children. It is because of my ambition, my passion, my ability to embrace change, my resourcefulness, and willingness to take a risk that makes me a leader in their eyes. My children's success and where I am now in my life are proof of great leadership. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree. My oldest daughter is graduating college. My second daughter is graduating high school, preparing for college. My third daughter is on her way to be a dual enrollment student. My boys are straight A students. And best of all, I'm not a grandmom yet. Honestly, we're all leaders in one way or another. There's always going to be someone looking to you for guidance. You have to choose in that moment, regardless of how impossible it seems as though it may be, to embrace it and face it. Venture on. I am not just another statistic. And I challenge you not to be just another line on a data chart. Choose to be an outliner. Be a leader. Keep going. And take fear as your spear. Thank you.